Hello, everyone. I was still kind of working through this energy, but I just kind of felt called to kind of work through it on camera, I guess. So I will just start at the beginning, like I normally do. You have a very strong desire and will to move towards something. That's why you are where you are right now. You have a very strong desire for something, and the willingness to go after it, right? That's why you are where you are right now. This will inevitably lead to the Nine of Cups, which talks about independence, but also particularly with this deck, it sometimes talks about happiness in the traditional order of things, which to me would say what you're doing right now is kind of leading you in circles. Whatever you're doing right now is kind of leading you in circles. I feel a lot of blockage kind of in the throat, expression, truth, and with the best possible scenario being the Moon and the Knight of Pentacles. I think there's a lot about this situation you're not admitting to yourself. There's a lot going on inside of you that maybe you're not thinking about, that you're not letting yourself think about. And with the Knight of Cups in the position of what needs to be cut out. Okay, yeah, confirmation there. I think you're denying how unhappy you are in this situation. I think you're denying how much this isn't what you want, right? Yeah. With the Four of Cups, right? Pause due to sadness, weakness, right? You're giving yourself pause unnecessarily. You're putting things on pause in your life unnecessarily, right? And I think this is just because you want this, whatever you're chasing after with this energy, you want whatever this is so bad that you want to believe that whatever this situation is that you're currently giving to, right? You want to believe that it is it, right? You want whatever you're chasing after so badly that you're just denying, you're denying how you really feel in this moment, right? You're denying that it's all right. You're denying that it's all right, but it's not what you want, right? It's okay. It's not a terrible thing, but it's not it's not what you want it to be. It's not what you want it to be. And with the Emperor card here, you should be chasing after what you want, right? You should be fully embodying this energy, right? Because you have the determination. You have the ability to, right, step into this and go after what it is that you want. You have the ability to do that. And what I'm seeing here, right, with this being the best possible outcome, right, a more tempered approach, right? A more tempered approach. Putting up a little bit more of an illusion of mystery around how you feel, right? Not putting that out in the open so readily, right? Finding more kind of balance, right? Waiting for more reciprocity, right? Before you say or give emotionally, right? At least as much as you have been to this situation. Before you kind of give away your heart, right? Before you say, yeah, I can sign on to this from an emotional space, right? Because when you sign on in that like emotional space, right? When you make the decision like, yeah, I really like this thing, I really like this person. A relationship is an easy example, right? When you start being like, yeah, I really like this person, I want to see where things go. I want to learn more about them. I want to, right, this, that, and the other. You open yourself up to being hurt, right? You open yourself up to, if things go wrong, or right, you open yourself up to a lot of hurt. Yeah, I don't see the situation that you're in as bad. I really don't. I think maybe you're just giving a little bit too much of yourself into it, right? Like you're giving a little bit too much to it. And you need to keep things a little bit closer to the vest and move a little bit slower, right? You need to keep things more to yourself and move a little bit slower, right? I would say even here, right? Like it seems this is about stability being reached and partially achieving your goal. So, and that was confirmation there. I think you're already moving in this direction, right? I think that's already what you're doing, to some degree, at least. You've kind of pulled yourself back. You're realizing, right, you have to temper yourself a little bit. You have to keep more things under wraps. You can't be giving as much of your emotional energy to this, right? Yeah. What I would say with the Emperor card too, Emperor card is usually about things that we can control, right? Action, forward movement. being more in a go-getter type of energy rather than a receptive type of energy. You're meant to have trust in yourself here, right? You're meant to have trust in yourself. You're not supposed to let this situation give you any pause, right? You're supposed to realize how competent you are and realize that if this situation isn't working out, right, it's not meant for you. Because, I mean, everything I'm seeing here, right, you've given too much to this situation, right? Which may be a mistake, but the right person would appreciate something like that, right? The right person would give back to you, right? The right person would offer this. 1111, as I looked up there. The right person would offer this. You know, they would offer balance. They would offer equal exchange, right? But you're not getting that. No, you're not getting that. And maybe you've accepted that that's just how things are, right? And that's kind of what this is about, right? You being like, well, it is what it is, right? That's just how these things go. I could even see this Emperor card being about someone else coming in, right? Like someone else coming in, sweeping you off your feet, right? Being like, lose that person that isn't giving you what you want back. I see you, right? Like, I understand what you're trying to give and I want it, right? I could even see that being the case here. Someone who will offer this, right? I think regardless, like, of how this situation pans out or what it looks like in your life, right? You just have to realize, like, you have a lot to offer. You have things to bring to the table, and the right person will appreciate those things, right? And in this situation in particular, right? Oh, sorry. In this situation in particular, I don't see it as bad, but it's not what you want, right? It's not what you want. And it's causing you some kind of pause. It's causing you to take pause in your life and stop moving forward, which isn't a good thing, right? Anything that keeps you stuck from moving forward with your goals is not good, right? That doesn't mean this situation can't be fixed or it won't be fixed or whatever, right? It doesn't mean any of these things. All I can tell you is what I see here is that you realize this, right? And you realize you have to start giving less. You realize you have to start hiding more. You realize, you know, which for me, I would not like being in that energy, right? Although it's necessary at times, I would not like it. I don't like it when I have to. I would much rather be open and honest and not have to hide how I feel because other people can't handle it, right? But it happens. It happens. There are a lot of people in the world who aren't able to handle emotion, who haven't learned that skill. And that stems from a very real place of um, some type of trauma, stunted growth, um, some disorders, things like that. And also, emotions aren't the easiest thing to deal with, right? Sometimes they are confusing and scary and whatever. Um, but you can learn to deal with them. You can learn yourself. You can learn why you feel things. You can do the work on yourself to be able to. And a lot of people don't choose to. And that's just the world that we live in, right? And I would say, with you being able to make this conscious choice of like, yeah, I should back off with the emotional thing, right? You've probably had to do this a lot. You've probably had to do this a lot, and you've realized, right? Like, a lot of people just can't handle it, right? They just can't handle emotion. And that isn't your fault. That isn't your fault. Is it theirs? It's more their fault than it is yours. But people are a result of their circumstances. They can choose to grow from their circumstances, or they can choose to not grow from their circumstances, or past traumas or whatever. And a lot of people choose not to because it's much easier, right? There's much less pain involved in that. And that's not on you. That is not on you. You're starting to realize you can't force someone to grow. You can't force someone to step up. You can't force someone to be there for you. And, well, you deserve someone to be there for you. You deserve for someone to step up. Not that you need it, but you still deserve to have it. You deserve someone who's willing to, because you've done it a million times for people who would have never done it for you, right? Because that's just kind of who you are. Yeah. I'm going to leave this one here. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.